All right, let's talk about a really big question, one that gets to the heart of what AI is all about. Can an AI agent actually break through the walls of human expertise?
I mean, really think about that for a second. Not just, learning a new hobby, but actually making a genuine scientific contribution in a field you know nothing about. It sounds impossible, right? Kind of like science fiction. Well, somebody actually went for it.
So you have this engineer, an expert in control systems, think autonomous cars, robotics, that kind of thing, and he decides to take a massive leap into a totally different world, cognitive science. And his research partner? Not another person, but a team of AI agents he built himself. What they did was this radical experiment, a tough, sometimes frustrating journey to see if a human AI team could create a real, publishable scientific paper from scratch. So, how on earth did they do it? Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first, you have to understand just how huge this challenge is. Scientific fields today are super specialized. Hopping from one to another isn't just a small jump, it's like trying to leap across the Grand Canyon. You know, the normal way to do this takes years of intense study. Knowledge gets trapped in these little silos, and progress is slow, incremental. But the promise of an AI-driven approach is wild. The idea that you could just leap across those domains, sparking new ideas at an insane speed. But there's a catch, a huge one. How do you know it's not just well-written garbage? It means you need an absolutely extreme level of validation. Now, what I love about this whole project is the philosophy behind it. This was never about replacing human experts. The engineer who ran this saw the AI as a tool, like a ladder, that could let him quickly climb up and access all this specialized knowledge. But, and this is key, it's still the human who has to do the climbing and actually discover something new at the top.
So let's get into the how. They couldn't just pop open a chatbot and say, hey, write me a paper. No way. They had to invent a completely new workflow, a whole research engine built for this unique human-AI partnership.
They call it the AI-human-AI loop. It's a three-step dance. It all starts with co-creation. The human has the spark, the initial idea, and the AI builds the logical skeleton around it. Then comes the most important part, grounding verification. A different AI plays fact-checker, cross-referencing every claim against actual real scientific papers. And finally, the really intense part, adversarial review, where they literally program the AI to tear its own work to shreds.
So let's trace the journey. It all began with a classic human moment of curiosity, a what-if question. The engineer wondered, hey, what if the same math I used to keep a rocket stable could be used to keep a human mind from panicking? He took that basic concept and handed it over to the AI. The AI then put on its logical architect hat, taking that abstract idea and turning it into concrete mathematical models, running simulations, and drafting the very first version of the paper.
But we all know that an AI's first draft can be, well, a bit of a mess. That's where phase 2 kicks in, with the gatekeeper AI. This second AI was given a digital library of trusted research papers and had one simple job: audit every single sentence in the draft against those sources. Its only mission was to find the flaws. And the number one enemy it was hunting for is this: hallucination. This is the biggest single risk of using AI for serious research. It's when an AI just makes stuff up. It'll invent a source, cite a paper that doesn't exist, or fabricate data, and it'll do it with absolute confidence. This whole verification step was designed to be a hallucination-killing machine.
So once the paper was fact-checked, you might think it's ready. Nope, not even close. Now it had to go through the final and most brutal stage. They nicknamed it Hell's Review, and it was designed to be a trial by fire.
For this part, they programmed the AI to take on a bunch of different personalities. Imagine a review panel made of AIs. One's a skeptical professor, another's a nitpicky young rival, another's a super conservative critic, and their only goal was to find every single flaw and attack it. And get this, they didn't just do this once. The paper went through this meat grinder 100 times. 100 rounds of the AI trying to destroy its own logic, finding a weak spot, forcing a revision, and then starting the attack all over again.
And these weren't polite suggestions either. The AI reviewer, in its destroyer mode, was programmed to be ruthless. At one point, it literally said this, which translates to, "This is ridiculous. Have you forgotten the basics of control theory?" That's an AI criticizing its own work with the brutal honesty of a disappointed professor.
And this right here is the whole
point. The magic wasn't that the AI got it right the first time. It was in this gritty, difficult reality of hunting down and fixing errors. They caught hallucinations, like a citation to a paper that was totally made up, and had to go back to the drawing board. It was this relentless cycle of attack and defense that turned a flawed idea into what they called a diamond master, a paper that was tough, tested, and true.
So, after all that, after surviving hell's review, what did they actually create? Did all this pain and effort lead to a real scientific idea? Oh yeah, and they call it the mental airbag.
The technical name is Cognitive Sliding Mode Control, or CSMC. It's a mouthful, I know. But in simple terms, it takes that feeling of your mind going blank during a panic attack and reframes it. It's not a personal failing, it's an engineering problem. It's a system becoming unstable. And just like any other system, it can be stabilized.
And this is just the perfect way to picture it. Think of it like a mental airbag. It's a system that's designed to sense the early warning signs of a cognitive crash, that moment of total panic, and then deploy a tiny corrective force to keep your thoughts stable and on the road. And what's amazing is that this engineering theory gives us some really powerful human insights. It suggests that real mental toughness isn't about being rigid, it's about being flexible. That trying to be perfect actually makes you more likely to break. It even suggests a future where an AI could act as a sort of cognitive pacemaker for us. And my favorite part, it proves that being good enough isn't just a coping mechanism, it's scientifically effective. So, okay, one incredible paper. But what does this all mean for the future? Well, this experiment wasn't just about one idea. It was really a blueprint for a whole new way of doing research.
It totally redefines what an AI partner can be. It's not just a fancy spell checker. It's a logical architect, a strict gatekeeper of facts, a devil's advocate that makes ideas stronger by trying to tear them down, and even a context swiper that can instantly translate ideas between completely different scientific fields.
And that just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If one engineer, working with an AI partner, can achieve a breakthrough in a field he never even studied, what's next? What's the next massive frontier of knowledge that humans and AI are going to explore together?